Yes, it is. Hi, everybody. It is Magic Monday, and I am here with my friend, SunPsychic Jean,
Hi, everybody.
and Wisdom Seeker Joan.
Hello.
We just got done with our big wisdom circle, which was a tough topic today, which is loving your enemies, which, you know, we try to do. It's really hard sometimes, though. And Terri Nidrich, who is a pure visionary psychic medium, she led this one. And oh, she did a great job. Great job. Is there anything one of you would like to share about it that you at all?
Well, just to reiterate what you said, she kind of waded in there on a really tough topic, and by the end, I think everybody kind of understood. It was really beautiful.
Right. Not only waded in, she had to experience it herself, and like it's a deep subject to try to send love to your enemies and to think good about them. And it's hard to do. So great topic. I think we all got a few tips about how to do it a little bit better, because
I think our next one should be about boundaries.
maybe
Establishing healthy boundaries.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yes, because good, like I always like to say, but I used to have horses and stuff. Good boundaries, good fences make happy neighbors, and also good horses. You got to keep your horses in your boundaries, and they're going to test them all to make sure. And they're so much happier when they know where they're at. And I'll have to say, I'm happier when I know where they're at too. So I just to as a way of why I'm saying that is I go to a fair that has very open boundaries and I like it, but I go to another fair that has very strong boundaries, and I actually like the strong boundaries better because I know where they're at and I know that everyone is expected to do the same. There's no favoritism, there's no anything like that, and I know where I stand. So I like that. Well, everybody, so we are answering questions today. Let's see, I'm going to get my little thing up here. So you can add, we're pretty much doing what we normally do, which is you can ask questions about your angels and guides or messages from loved ones on the other sides, which that includes pets. We want you, when you ask a question, put it in caps and emojis to make it as obnoxious as possible. We get a lot of questions and the questions fly by pretty fast on our computers. So in order to see them, we kind of have to have a lot of things for our eyes to recognize. If you also have some things where that maybe you've experienced something weird this week, because, I've experienced a couple weird things this week. I was on a show. I have my eyes closed, kind of meditating a little bit, and I opened them really fast, and I saw wings. I saw white wings underneath my table, my little computer table, just whoosh by, and I'm like, what was that? And then I kept trying to make it happen. Like I thought maybe it was a reflection in my eyeglasses or something, and it wasn't. So I couldn't make it happen again. So I'm pretty much sure I saw angel wings there. Yeah, so put them in. We also do lots of things. So like if you lost something, had a weird dream, experienced something odd, want to know about it, put that in. Okay, so let's say hi to a few people. In fact, we said hi to a lot of these people last hour. So Bora Bora 333, hi there. Thanks for being on our team. She's has the blue wrench. Edward Kenneth, Craig Dixon, I just want to point out something for Craig real quick. Craig, look behind me, right there. Look there. So Craig sent me this beautiful commemorative stamp of Clara Bow, who he channels, or he just with him. That's one of his spirit guides, and it's just beautiful. Tracy C, Emily Lawrence Bradley, Amanda Carroll, Gina M, Wiki, Morella. Hi, Morella. Let's see. I think that's all I have. Oh, Garnet's here. Yay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. And yes, Craig, I framed it. I framed it and made room for it on the stage. So, okay. Let's see. Thank you, Jean, for starring questions like crazy because I was talking to people.
Well, yeah. It takes a little while for them to come in, so
yeah.
Oh, Wiki.
Yeah, go ahead and put in your questions and get them in early. And you have to also be here when your questions, if your question is picked, because we do it randomly, we do it as spirit kind of leads us. Put them in and we'll see what we can do.
We just want you to say hello when we call your name or say that you're next. Just come into the chat and say hello.
Yeah, that because we need your energy. We are using each other's energy, and we're using your energy to reach the other side, especially the other side as it applies to you. So, and you never know, we might see something really odd, and we need to ask you a question so that we can interpret it correctly. So, I think we are ready to go. So I'm going to take down the banners. We have a little more room. And I think we'll go with Wiki. Wiki says, hi, ladies. I can't find my passport. Any suggestions on where I might look? Okay. Wiki, we might, some of us might use the pendulum. And so it might be nice to know if we're trying to do it. How many floors does your house have? 2 floors? 3 floors? A basement? Okay, so Wiki says thank you, but Wiki, how many floors does your house have? And do you have a storage unit? We might have to search them all. Live in a condo. Okay.
I got right away, it showed me the passport underneath a cushion. And I don't know if it's a chair cushion. It looked more like a sofa cushion or something like that. And then with the pendulum, I asked whether it was in the house or in your living space, and it said yes. Let's see if there's any other hints here. Oh, of course, I get the world. Of course, it's the passport that takes you around the world. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. These are just all cards about the starling get out in the world and connect in authentic ways, which I think it means, because you got the world and the starling about connecting, you're going to find it. So just be very positive and start saying thank you for the fact that I found my passport. And then start planning whatever it is that you're going to do. See yourself showing the passport to the guy or the woman at the airport. See yourself having it in the passport pocket and keeping it really safe in that little, the special place that you have it, and just own it spiritually, rather than considering it lost.
Yeah. So what I was getting for you, Miss Wiki, is I was checking in your suitcase and in your purse. And I kept thinking it's in something. So I asked, it wasn't in a purse, it wasn't in a suitcase, but I think it's still in, you know, how you have like those sleeves that you wear under your garments. I feel like it's still in the sleeve of whatever it was that you used it, or it could even be like in an envelope or something that you're not seeing the actual passport because it's inside of another sleeve somehow. And then I asked if it was in a closet. So I don't know if you store some of these things away and maybe even look for your neck pillow and your foot pillow and the things that you bring on the plane, or your eye mask, whatever you use for it on the plane. Kind of look there, because I feel like they were all. I don't know if you traveled recently, but I feel like it would have been put back all together or put back in a similar spot. So I would try in it. If you think it was in the drawer, go back to that drawer and look for the sleeve or whatever the pouch is that you kept it in. I feel like there's some sort of a document pouch or a sleeve. And when I say sleeve, I'm thinking about those things that you wear around your waist under your clothes. Could still be in that, or it could still be like in a passport holder. I don't know. I'm not getting much more than that.
Well, I got a quick hit that it could be in your car's glove box. Probably in a passport holder in the car's glove box. Yeah, and when I used my pendulum, that's the only time it said yes when I asked about that. So I'm hoping that'll be it. Anyway, thank you. Let us know where you find it, because that would be really cool. So, okay. So as you know, we want you to be here when you ask your questions. So Jean, if you might write this down, the next question is going to be Dora Romero's. And Mary Starshine and Leah. So if Leah, Mary Starshine, I know Dora is here because she just put in her question. Please say hi in the chat so that we know you're here. Okay. So let's go to Dora. Yeah, I know you're here, Dora. You just put in your question. Oh, sorry. I did it again. Okay, so Dora says hello to all of us. Can she get a message from her mom, Ramona? She passed away in 2017. So let's.
I hear her saying, "Stay strong, Dora." She's saying that something about weathering a storm, and it's figuratively, not literally. She's saying that you wouldn't. She's just saying that she's very happy, and she's saying that there is brighter days ahead, happier days ahead, and that she's encouraging you to hold on, to hang on, and to keep everything together as much as possible. I feel like she was always somebody who would be this way, somebody who would point out your strength and point out the bright side and point out how to be tough, and she wants you to know that you can rely on her, and you can ask her for signs, for validation and reinforcement. She's saying that a lot of our loved ones are very close to us at this point in time when we're in so much need. And she says this includes her. She says you can look at her picture, or if you have a piece of jewelry of hers or something, just to help you focus on her and sit quietly when you want to think about her, and ask her to come in. And she's saying you can work on developing that communication. And I'm just going to stop there. Thank you, Dora.
When I tuned in, I heard a song that I don't know very well, but I think it's a heartache or a heartbreak. And so she recognized, and then I saw a picture of a heart with a bandage on it, kind of a scar, and the bandage holding it together. That even after this amount of time, it still hurts. And a loss like that, things heal, but you're never quite the same. So I saw that, and then the next thing I got the feeling was she's saying, "I know that it's hard, but it's a new season now. So just don't." It's sort of the "I'm not gone, I'm just different" type of thing. And so she showed me daffodils and said, it's a new season. It's a new way for us to interact. It's a new way of having a relationship with you, or a relatively new one. And then she showed me, I don't know if you were like when you were a little girl, if you rode your bicycle a lot, because I saw a bicycle and she was bringing my attention to the handlebars that had streamers on them. And she said, you can make it an adventure, like biking when you were a kid, and make it exciting. And it's a new way for you to explore your connection together. I also saw bluebirds for the happiness. And then I heard that song that goes, even though we ain't got money, I'm still in love with you, honey, or I'm so in love with you, honey, something like that. So there was something there. And let's see if there's, I got the Six of Wands, kind of victory after burden, that she admires the way you have been handling things, even though, it's hard to go through, but you're doing a good job, and you're a winner in her eyes.
Yeah, I want to double down on the winner in her eyes, because for some reason she just absolutely will not let a horse and a halter go from my vision. I'm seeing a horse in like a show halter. And I don't know if she showed horses or something like that, or you did, but it feels like it relates to you, though, like that as a child, you were easy for her to lead with that, and that you were really easy to work with. Or you guys showed horses. I'm not quite sure, but they definitely is some sort of connection between you and her. And then she changes the halter from something that was very worldly to something that looks just like a spiritual halter. So really what she's saying there is you're very connected. And I also kept getting from her that it seems like when she was alive, she was really prepared. She's the one that has the map out. She's the one that's ready and doing things. So she's really saying, call upon my energy when you need to get some things done. And when you need to, when you need to scout around things, she can, they have a little extra information sometimes. Go ahead and call upon her once in a while to find out how to get through some of these little bit of tough times that may be happening. So, okay, that's what I got. And I would love to hear if that horse halter meant something, or the horse meant something else. So, okay.
Mary Starshine and then Leah, and they're both
Mary
here.
Starshine. Yep, Mary Starshine. So Mary Starshine asks, and so Mary, are you here? Did anyone see
Yeah, she said she was here.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
May I have a message from my guides? Okay, they'll tune in.
So, Mary, do you have any ability to share the information that you receive? They want you to share, and even if it's putting it together in a notebook or something that you keep, but they want you to share it for some reason and compile it. And I feel like there's information that you're getting and that you're connected to your guides and you receive the information and you think that it's either mundane or cliche, but they're actually telling you very profound spiritual laws and directing you and guiding you. But it often is quite simple and a few words, you know. It's not always complex and developed. They want you to share what you're receiving and they want you to write it down. And it's almost like you think one thing of the information that's coming through, but they're saying that there's more to it. So when you write it down and you go back and look at it, you'll look at it with new eyes, and it'll mean so much more. So when you listen to it or when you feel it, and they say, don't worry, be happy or something, and you write that down, you're like, yeah, that's a good message, and that applies, but what does it mean? And then later you'll look back on it, you'll be like, oh, that's what that means. It's just a different perspective.
I think what I got sort of coincides with or relates to what you were saying, Jean. Right away, I saw the full moon and kind of the moon card. And so maybe, I think there's a full moon coming up. You might want to do whatever ceremony or whatever you do for a full moon. But it both showing the beauty of a beautiful full moon on a clear night, but also kind of the tarot card meaning of you don't see things quite as clearly in the moonlight. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If there's something going on in your life that it's like, I feel like I need a little bit more clarity on it, because when I pulled cards, I got the 7 of Cups, which is about kind of confusion. Do I pick this or that or lots of options, and it's kind of hard to figure out which way to turn. So kind of think about, how do I bring more light to this subject area or whatever it is that might be bothering you. And the way to do that is to bring heaven to earth, which is the archangel of Constance here. So just in meditation, just sort of ask for clarity.
I got something very much along the lines of your reading, but definitely of Jean's. It was very simple. I just saw your team on my stage, and they said that they want you to trust what they're giving you and believe it. Just have more faith in what's happening, not to say, did I pick that up? Did I do? To actually have a little more faith in what they're giving you, and especially not to feel like you're unworthy. That was a big theme in what they were showing me, is that part of you thinks, well, I'm not a saint. I'm not, I'm not somebody who could talk about this sort of stuff, or I'm not worthy enough to go see angels and stuff like that. You are. And what they're saying is, the more that you start to trust what you're getting, the more that you start to believe that you are worthy, the more they're going to give you. So don't just write it down. Eventually find a way to tell people too. Okay. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, okay. And, oh my goodness. Sorry, Jean, you're gonna have to remind me on the list. Who's next?
It's Leah.
Leah. Okay. Sorry, I see. Oh, there's Leah. There we go. Okay.
Can we pick who's next? the next two?
Yes, let's do that so that we don't have to keep going through them all. Tracy C., you're going to be next. Venus.
I think that's good too.
Okay. Okay.
So
That's good for
Tracy
now.
C and Venus, just say hello.
Yeah. Say hello and we'll look at your question when it's your turn. So Leah, may I please get mediumship from my sister, Mary Castleberry? Mary Castleberry.
She wants you to know that she's doing well. She's okay, and she's with loved ones, and she's with the angels. She wants you to know that her soul feels very light and very like a flying sensation, very light, and there's almost like an elation sort of feeling. I'm not sure if she was ill towards the end, but she feels very light and very like unburdened. Like you know how if you hold your hand down and hold your hand down and then you let it go and it feels like it's floating. She's telling me this, that she feels like she's floating, but she's saying it's wonderful. It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. She's saying, I feel so wonderful. I feel like I'm light as a feather and I'm floating. She's saying I'm doing very well and I'm here with loved ones. She's saying that she is very secure and familiar with her surroundings and she's not afraid at all. And I don't know if you're thinking this is, about her crossing, about her being over there, what's happening, is she okay? I think that if she is saying these things about her experience, it might be something that you're worried about or concerned about or running through your mind. And she wants you to know that she thanks you for everything that you did, all of the sacrifices that you made towards the end of her life. There's something that you're doing for her family. And she's saying, you are my family. And I understand that my passing affects you. I don't know if she had her own like children and husband that you're also helping. But you're also grieving. So she just says, thank you for all that you do, all that you did for me before my passing, all that you did for the services, and all that you continue to do for my family. And she's saying that you don't have to, or I appreciate everything that you do, and don't feel obligated. She doesn't want you to feel obligated. She's saying that everybody's going to be okay. She's saying that she wants to come and visit you. She's saying because, Leah, you have this awareness about you and you have this openness about you. And she's saying that you can connect with her and work with her, whether it's in writing or whether it's in songs or whatever it is that you want. If you want her to send you a memory or something that makes you laugh, she wants to work with you. She wants to keep this communication and this connection alive, so to speak.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting too, that she was showing me on at least one other lifetime when you were together, because I kept thinking, why am I seeing this like Middle Eastern prince with the headpiece and the big, all the white kind of robes riding on a horse across the desert? Is like, I don't think this is Leah. But I think that's what it was. And then she was showing me what did she say? It's a wonderful weaving together of our lives that, and of so many lives that you've had together. And she showed me, I don't know if you made these when you were a kid, those little woven hot pads where you'd like buy them at the dime store. And there were these little, they almost look like fabric rubber bands or something that you weave together and you make a hot pad. And she said, it's like that. They're thick strands that weave us together, and that will never go away. So yeah, she was talking about that, about your past, and about how, she's available to you now because she just feels like you're so closely knitted together. What did you get, Terri?
I got a message from her that really pertains to the end of her life. She's letting me know that you did something for her or said something that made a huge difference. She wasn't afraid to pass over because of what you did or said. You said something to her that really helped her. And so it's as if I'm seeing her kind of before and then after she's crossed over, she's full of strength and vitality. I actually see her wearing like a warrior's uniform, kind of, that somehow you gave her a bunch of strength and she's just very strong over there. Um, yeah, something you said helped her at the very end that really made it easy to go over. And I don't know if you were with her or not. It really doesn't matter whether you're with her or not. You sent her some sort of thought or love or something that really made the difference in going over. And now she's there like a warrior. So she is also kind of very protective of you and has that ability to kind of protect you and be there. So
She
I
said,
hope that.
I connected her with her estranged daughter, but we spoke on a spiritual issues. She had stage 4 lung cancer.
Well,
Wow. What a
you did
beautiful
something,
gift. Oh my
and
God.
it's funny that you say that because this warrior's uniform that she's wearing has these steel bands around her chest, and I really can only see to her waist, but these steel bands were there, and I thought this looks like a warrior's uniform, and she had a sword as well. So it's like, okay, yeah, she's pretty tough. So yeah, go
But
ahead and say
she
say
just wanted,
some nice
she
things to
wanted to
her.
know real, sorry. She just wanted to know real quick if mom was there with her. I didn't hear anything from mom. I think sister is, or Mary is taking care of her. What was your sister's name? I forgot already. Is Leah's mom together with her sister? Yeah, I think that when your mom went, there's other people that came for your mom that are helping your mom. And your sister knows that she's there, but I think that your mom is being helped by the angels. And your sister is aware that she's there, but I'm not sure they're together quite yet. I think your mom passed recently, so
Yeah,
but she's saying mom's being taken care of. So that's what I got.
yeah. Oh, that's so that's so lovely. Okay, thank you so much, Leah, for um, giving us that question, letting us read and meet your mom. Let's see, Tracy C, right?
Yes.
Yes. So Tracy C says, I would love a message from my beautiful grandmother, Mary. Thank you. Okay.
I feel like your grandmother has a job on the other side. She seems a little busy, either that or she was quite the worker here in this world. She's showing me herself busy, and she was almost like busy, and then she went, me? Like she's like, you're calling me? Like she was busy doing something. Um, I think she's helping children and growing flowers. I'm not sure if she had a lot of children. Does she love babies? She's helping children and she's growing flowers. And these are the things that she loved. And it was almost like um, there wasn't anything else in the world that she'd rather do. And it's about nurturing. She was very nurturing. You know how delicate and gentle we need to be with flowers and what we need to be with babies, and this gentle nurturing kind of a sense about her is what she's telling me. And it's what she loves to do. She would, and this is what, when they say in heaven that we do what it is that our heart's greatest joy. And I think that this is what she's doing. And she is just living out her heart's greatest joy. And she wants you to know that she's keeping an eye on the family and that not to worry. And I'm asking her about other people there. She's saying there's somebody who's ill here in this world. She's saying there's somebody who may be crossing soon or getting near to their end of life. And she's saying that that she's sending her angels to this person. I don't know if it's your grandfather or how it's related to her, but she's like really rest assured that that she has her team taking care of them, and that they'll be guided when it's their time to cross over. I don't know who this might be.
Beautiful. I'm sorry, are you finished? Okay. That was really gorgeous. When I tuned in, Tracy, at first I just saw a doll, and this woman was carrying a doll. She was always busy helping. She loved her family and grandchildren. Well, I saw her kind of almost like a cartoon character carrying this doll that had kind of a squishy face. It wasn't like sort of like the Cabbage Patch dolls did or something. The cute big cheeks and darkish hair. And so I don't know if she was saying you were a real doll or that she just loves taking care of the babies, but there was something about this doll. Maybe she gave you a doll. And then when I was pulling cards, I got the world, and I heard the Little Mermaid song, A Whole New World. So she's talking about her experience over here. It is just a whole new world for her, and she's just enjoying it. And she wants you to know that it was different than what she thought it was going to be, but it's really fabulous. And it is just a whole new world, different than what her expectations were, but fabulous nonetheless. And she likes being able to kind of keep an eye on things. And then I just asked for advice, and I pulled from the Feathers deck the Kingfisher card, which is about prosperity. And her advice was prosperity is more than money. Prosperity is in love and in friendship and in just so many different ways that your life can be enriched. So don't judge yourself or measure yourself only in monetary value, that you are rich in the love that you have from her and your ancestors and other people who love you in this world, and live in that energy.
Wow, that's wonderful. So as soon as I got Mary on my stage, she almost looks a little cartoonish. She's this tiny little lady, but she's got this big bouffant wig on, really bouffant. And the more I look at her, the bigger it gets. And the first thing she said to tell you was, yeah, I'm over here minding everybody else's business. So I have a feeling she minded people's businesses here quite a lot. And so when I asked her more about why the bouffant, why the big wig, why the wig that she says, life is like a performance. And even in death, it's a little bit like a performance. You choose what you want to do. She said, so her first words of wisdom to you are live life to the fullest. Don't stop. Don't slow down and worry about what it is. She said, do I worry that I've got this cartoon bouffant on? No, I don't worry at all. And then she's talking about the fact that she does take care. She really cares about kids a lot. She's like minding kids over there. And in a lot of ways, it's almost like a play for them while she's wearing this kind of outrageous wig. It's almost like she's making it really fun and making kids attracted to her because she's got this, and she's just helping out the little kids over there. So I think that's the real upshot of it. Live your life to the fullest, because you only get one time being Tracy. So go for it.
Can I just jump in? I forgot the last thing that I saw was she was standing here, there was a hole, and then a ladder came up through it, and a firefighter was crawling up. So I don't know if that has any meaning to you, if the next person in the family was a firefighter or an emergency worker or whatever. Oh, that's great that she's with kids. Yeah.
She's really a funny lady. She's really kind of delightful and funny.
And when I asked her if there was somebody about ready to cross over, she said it's her son, Tracy's uncle, that is getting ready to cross over. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep, she's on it. She just wanted you to know that she knows and she's on it. And she has her team on it. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes, she's a very organized lady. Yeah. Okay, so
Venus.
Venus
Venus is
okay.
next.
Thank you for reminding me.
And if we want to choose two more,
let's choose Kim Princess and Linda Gibson Hebert. So both of you, please say yes in the chat so we know you're here. If you don't, then we'll choose somebody else. But if you come back and somebody in the chat says, "Hey, you question went there," just let us know you're here and we'll put you back in the lineup. Okay. So Venus says, "May I have a message from my guides regarding the business transaction I made today? I didn't want to, but I had to because of financial issues. The stranger I met with offered me a side job too." Oh, so she wants to know about this business transaction. What happened there?
Well, I'm getting kind of a mixture of things. Venus, the first thing I saw was 3 roses. You got a bouquet of 3 roses with a nice white bow on it. So it wasn't a whole dozen, but they're nice roses. And so that's kind of something to start with. And then I pulled cards and I got the 9 of Cups, the Happy Merchant. That's a good card. And then from the Feathers deck, I got the Robin, New Growth and Potential are on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it, which is just what you did. But then when I asked through the pendulum, first I asked of whether the transaction that you made today was in your highest and best good, and I got a yes. And then I asked about the side job and got, explore that a little bit more. How about you, ladies?
Yeah, I agree with Joan. I agree that it was bittersweet, the decision you had to make, but sometimes, it's tough decisions need to be made, and that there's no judgment, and that the side job is almost like, not that this person was blowing smoke, but they were almost trying to be a peacock and ruffle their feathers and say, "Oh, I can," like throwing their weight around, like, "I can do this and I have this and you can," it was almost like half-hearted. I'm not sure how sincere it was. It was probably, in other words, take it with a grain of salt. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, like they may have offered, but when it comes down to getting having it come to fruition, and you actually, it's there's something in there. There's something, promises, the promise was bigger than the reality, something like that. So just take it with a grain of salt. But the transaction was, I agree, in your highest good, and wasn't easy, but it was in your highest good.
Well, I got very similar things, but I got I got more about the offer, the side job offer. And they basically said, make sure you read everything. If there's any sort of contractual thing, just read it and be aware of it. Be cautious going into it. And they said, if you decide to take it and then it's not what you want, feel free to walk away. They're just really saying, proceed, but with caution. So, yeah.
Well, I'm really glad that we could read, because the temptation after something like that is to spend the rest of the day or going, oh, was that right? Was that wrong? And to worry about it. And now you can just let that go and visualize and affirm all the good things that are going to happen because of it.
Right. Yeah. But be sure in yourself, if you take that offer, just make sure that it's not like you're begging for anything. Your team does let me know how much they value, that you have a lot of value to offer. So don't discount yourself at all. Okay. Well, thank you, Venus, for allowing us to read for you. And did anyone see if Princess Kim is here? Or Kim
Yes.
Princess, sorry.
She's here.
Kim is here. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you, Kim, for sending the message.
The only thing is, I didn't see her dad's first name. I asked her for it, and I never went back to look. Kim, do you mind putting it in again? Because I don't know if I can go all the way back there.
Yeah. Anthony.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. So does her dad, Anthony, have a message for her?
He's very caring. He cared a lot about you. He was, what do I want to say? He was passionate. He had, he loved to laugh. And like when he says, I love my girls, or, he would get a little like teary eyed. Like he was sensitive in a way. He had beautiful emotions. He shared his emotions. And his love was really beautiful. I feel like he had a really big heart. But I feel like he was funny, and he was a little set in his ways, and he liked where he sat at the table, and he liked a certain type of food, and he liked a certain type of drink, and like he was a little bit habitual, or had a routine, and everybody loved him for it. Or he would say certain things or wear certain things. It's almost like, oh, there's dad again, or dad's doing his thing again. And it was like a endearing type of reality. And he said that he he knew, but he didn't let it bother him. Like it was something that you sort of jabbed, like ribbed him a little bit about it. Oh, dad, you're wearing those slippers again, or whatever it was that he did, and he did habitually, or, that made people roll your eyes, or maybe I don't know what this is, but he's saying you guys like to rib him about stuff. And he's saying he felt very loved. He felt very loved. Does this sound like your dad, Kim? Emotional, loving, like to laugh, emotional. She said yes. Oh,
when I was 7.
Oh, so it's hard to know. Oh, he died when she was 7. Oh my gosh. It's hard to know. Yeah. Oh, he was more closed off. So does this sound like a grandfather of yours, or a different male that would say he loves his girls? Or maybe it's your father-in-law? Because there's somebody who loves you who's here. And if it's not your father, Anthony, maybe it could be somebody else, Kim. Or just maybe, because, yeah.
Christmas.
There is somebody here who was all of these things. Father figure, whether it was a father-in-law, stepdad, grandfather, your daughter's grandfather from her dad. So it would be your father-in-law if you were married to her dad. Yeah. Yeah, could be. Does it sound more like him? Like he would be easily like kidded. You could kid with him and he didn't mind it. He called my daughter his girl. Okay. All right. That sounds more like who this individual seems to be coming through and sharing his love and wanting to step forward. Let me see if Anthony can step forward. If somebody else wants to, well, let me just, because I was really pulling in that energy. And sometimes people who have bigger energies or more, something more to say, they'll come in and it's father, grandfather, and it's very, the energies can blend sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to step in real quick, but first I want to say a message. It just suddenly started lightning and thundering here, and I noticed my power blinked a minute. So if we get lost, I probably won't be able to come back.
Okay.
But so when I got a hold of Anthony, and I'm pretty sure I have Anthony, he talked about the fact that when he was alive, he didn't have a lot of good male examples in his life that he could count on. And so he's a little bit ashamed of how he was closed off like that. But he's not apologizing for it. Tell me more, Anthony. Tell me more about what happened. He's just saying you live and you learn. I tried to live my life how I thought was right, but I think I didn't do a very good job of it. He says, I enjoy learning from you. So he's seeing you live your life in a much better manner than he did. And he really does like watching you. He learns from you. He recognizes that this means he probably has to live a few cycles here because it's going to take him a while to catch up. But he's learning well from you, and he's learning to enjoy the other side and work with people. And he says, I know it seems like that's late. I've been over there a while, but he said, I must have been really stubborn. So that's what I got.
Wonderful. Kim, when I tuned in, the first thing he showed me, if this is who I have, was a nail clipper. And at first I thought that meant, well, he paid attention to details, because that's for me the kind of what that symbol means. It also might be because then the card that I got was the Three of Pentacles, which is the tradesperson, the craftsperson. So I don't know what kind of work he was in, but maybe it was a kind of work where you got dirt under your fingernails and needed to trim them up and clean them sometimes. But I think that he was, if that's true, he put a lot of pride and work into an energy into his work, and may have been a little bit rigid. This is the way you do it. This is the way I've always done it. And this is what works for me. Because I also got the woodpecker, which is about patterns and rhythms. And he may have gotten stuck in just a certain way of living life and a pattern of that. So, he was in insurance. Okay. So that's, that's kind of a profession or a craft that he was good at. And But for you, he was saying leap and spread your wings, that he hopes that you kind of go beyond what he did as far as, just wanting to strike out and live your life more fully. And it was interesting because by the time that we were, as time went by a little bit, it wasn't there right away, but my heart chakra just lit up. So it took him a while to sort of warm up to that, but he is sending you lots of love and wishes that he could have been more open with that when he was around.
Oh. Jean, did you get anything more?
Well, just that he wants you to know that he didn't miss any milestones in your lifetime, Kim. He wants you to know that he was actually whispering in your ear and guiding you throughout your life. And he wishes he would have been able to be there. And, but he knows now that he was able to help you more from that point, from where he is now, than where he was in his life. And he just wants you to know he hasn't missed anything, and he loves the children. And when you had your children, he was there. He didn't miss anything. He didn't miss anything in your life. And he knows how much you think about him and how much you wonder about him. And he's sorry about that, about the missing, the feeling of missing something throughout your life. And he did say there was like a surrogate or a man in your life that was like a father that you could depend on, that maybe showed you the way things, maybe it was an uncle or something, but he wants to know that he does understand that you have been taken care of, and he wants you to know that he was instrumental in helping you along the way.
Jean, that's lovely. And, I love, that's kind of a message for everybody, because, like, for instance, my dad died before my grandchildren were born, but I just know that if he had ever been around when my grandchildren, he would have loved them. And so I love the idea that Anthony can watch like that. So it also means my dad knows them too and didn't miss anything. So I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kim Princess. I keep wanting to call you Princess Kim. Thank you so much for your question.
Linda is next. Linda.
Linda? Is that right?
Yes.
Linda Gibson. Okay. Thank you, Jean, for helping me remember all that. May I have a message from my dad, John, or my mom, Shirley? Okay. So whoever you get, or both, or whatever, let's give it a shot.
So, Linda, I feel like you're more of well, not more, but you and your dad had a wonderful relationship. There was some sort of like you guys could finish each other's sentences, or you kind of had the same type of humor, or you understood things, and you and your dad would band together, and your mom would be, like, turn out the lights, it's getting late, stop, put the game away. And you and your dad would still be playing the game or something. Like, there's something, you and your dad were banded together, and your dad loved being playing that role. And did you have siblings, Linda? I almost feel like it was a very small family if you did. But and I feel like your dad went fast, but your mom may have had a condition that she may have been fighting for a while. I don't know if your mom had like diabetes or COPD or something where she had to live with some discomfort through the end of her life.
Yeah, she had a brother and a sister.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Were you the youngest? You were special. You and your dad feel like you guys like saw eye to eye. I don't know if you were the youngest there, but something about that. And like your mom was a your mom went unexpectedly, her heart. Okay. Um, like your mom was the disciplinarian and your dad was the one that would say, come on, you can stay up and watch TV, something like that. This is when I'm tuning into John. He just seems to be a little more lenient, a little more mischievous in a good way, and kind-hearted and lighthearted. Not that your mom wasn't, but your mom had, needed to. You're the oldest. Okay. Um, Mhm. Your dad just keeps telling me you were his little buddy. Like there was some sort of a charm that you guys had together. Um, he's also showing me giraffes. I don't know if a giraffe means something to you. Could be a toy giraffe or something about when you saw a giraffe or a joke about a giraffe. He just wants you to know that he's not very far away. And he has mom with him, but mom's not saying so much. He's doing most of the talking, but he wants to reassure you. And he's I don't know if he's jovial, but he's really like kind-hearted and welcoming. He really was a beautiful soul. And this is what I'm picking up. How about you, ladies?
When I tuned into Shirley, to your mom, and the first thing she showed me was she was outside in the rain, and she had an umbrella, like every section of the umbrella was a different color. So I don't know if she was the type of person who could uh, find the positive in be outside and have fun in the rain, or type of person to have uh, a positive attitude in difficult circumstances. Maybe even if she didn't feel it, it's like, come on, let's do it. Because I'm also seeing that she was a real strong person. I got the Wren, which is about being bold and confident. Uh, the Wren is this tiny, tiny bird, but it will just scold and scold and scold you. She was, much, just very, just be brave and strong out in a way that's outsized compared to its size. And I also got the Queen of Swords. So I'm getting this idea of strength in her. And that with the swords, it's the ideas and the intuition and all of that. So yeah, organized and a very strong personality. Let's see, what else did I have? I was wondering if you played cards with them. That was something I saw. Think you can help and keep. Oh, and then I saw you and your siblings. She was thanking you for kind of taking care of things. And I saw you and your siblings on a raft out on water somewhere, and you were the one who were keeping things balanced because there weren't any, it wasn't a great raft. So somehow you were able to keep things balanced through through her loss and everything within the family. So she's thanking you for that. And for right now, she's saying, I've got the Archangel of Perspective who is saying, zoom out and relax and know that she loves you and that she thinks you're doing a great job, and take some time for yourself. It's just to heal.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, I got Shirley too, but she was really hard to pin down. She wanted to be seen and she wanted to talk to me, but she was really hard to get a hold of. And then finally she said that she was really bossy. She was a very bossy person, and she was she's not saying sorry for that, but she said she is sorry that sometimes she came across as if she were the law. She's showing me that somehow she was the law in the family, or the law, like, and some of that was because she was very, very fearful, and because that she wanted to protect you by, I guess, giving into some of her fears, because she was really, really afraid for you, afraid for what might happen. She doesn't regret going fast like she did. She's very happy being over there. What else? What is the message you had for her directly? Hmm. She's telling me something that we probably wouldn't have said on our last show, but she's saying make sure to enlarge your boundaries a little bit. That maybe because she was so law and order-ish with you, that maybe she has kind of helped you install a little too tight of boundaries that maybe keep you from exploring this world as much as you should. So go ahead and loosen those up just a little bit. Give yourself a little room. Yeah, know that she's there watching, and that she she's with you and on your side, and she's learned a lot, I think, since then. So, okay, well, that's what I got.
Yeah, thank you so much, Linda, for all the feedback.
Yeah.
And she said that she was on her way to see her when she passed. She passed very fast. And with mom being a disciplinarian. But you know what? For some reason, and your mom didn't tell me this, but I felt this in the beginning when your dad was coming through, and your dad was saying that he was almost like the, you know, the one that would give you another ice cream cone or whatever. But I know you say your dad, mom and dad, but he was just showing me the difference. But and that your mom, I feel as though she was suffering from something her entire life. And I feel like she didn't feel good, or she had struggle, or maybe it was that the reason why she passed from her heart suddenly or quickly. There was something about, I don't know if she was in pain, or if there was something that wasn't quite running correctly. I feel like she was not feeling well most of her life, which kind of makes people a little more demanding or quick, or saying, stop that, put that away, or whatever it is. And I'm not making excuses, but I just felt like she wasn't feeling well for a long time before she passed. And you said she passed fast. Yeah, but she was carrying this, and I don't think that she realized what it was. Just as something, just a thought to consider.
Yeah, I agree with you,
Oh,
Jean.
she said she had many health issues. She had hernia and didn't recover being put to sleep. She was suffering. Not that it's any excuse for a difficult childhood, but just maybe put it in perspective that she just wasn't herself. And I think that yeah, she wasn't she wasn't she wasn't easily, she didn't overcome things very easily. So whatever it is set her back, and then the next thing set her back. Even childbirth, I think, was difficult for her, and it was hard for her to rebound. I think there was some sort of a struggle with her health there.
Mm-hmm.
But God love her, and you and your brother and sisters and all your family, and your dad. And your dad's so cute, telling me that he was he was he was there, helping you, and being the good cop when your mom was the bad cop.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, ladies, it's 9 minutes after the hour, and since it's still thundering and lightning out, I don't know if that we should we should probably end it here, because I don't want to just suddenly blink out of this whole show and not be there for anyone. But thank you, everybody in the audience, for putting in your questions, for the chat. Thank you, Craig, for all the loving advice you gave people. And just know Claire's always there with you, because I've read, I think we've all read Craig a few times, and boy, she's strong, that Clara. And everybody, we hope you have a really good week and everything will go well for you. If you have more questions, on Friday, Jean and Terry Lee and I will be on with the Psychic Triad answering your questions. And then after that, I'm going to Japan. So I'm going to be gone for a while. So your next big chance is this Friday. Joan, what do you got going on?
Tomorrow, a friend of mine is going to come on at, let's see, 3 Eastern and noon Pacific to talk about creativity and how that is a way to lift our vibration and kind of the whole collectives. And we'll talk for about a half hour and then we'll take questions. So please tune in then too. Yeah.
That's nice. Jean, what do you got going on?
I'm going to be with you at the Psychic Triad is the next thing I have going on.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also have Gerald and Mark doing mediumship on Friday before the Psychic Triad. So Friday, come on back.
Yeah. So you got lots of options for asking questions, everybody. Okay. We'll see you then. Bye,
Bye, everybody.